Well, we're back again in the dead of winter still with another project. This is actually a return customer, good friend of mine, although he really only calls me when his car's broken. Anyways, we don't hold grudges. This one needs brakes all around. Last appearance it had in the shop, somebody forgot to close the sunroof, so we spent a couple hours basically decontaminating this thing with like soaking flood water.
Get it for the memories.
But today we're doing much more ideal work, which is just brakes front and rear. I think this baby's pushing 100K almost. Close to it? Okay. So the dealership, or the stealership, more known, quoted him like, I don't know, $1,000 or something for the front and rear. So I told him we could do better than that. $999 or something. First thing we're kind of investigating is this vehicle, given that it's a 2019, has the electric parking brake. So I do have a scanner here. I'm gonna attempt to put it into service mode, but I'm a little bit torn because we actually did brakes on this previously, and when we did, I didn't mess with the rear parking brake, partly because I didn't really know you had to, but we had no issues. He's put 40,000 miles or so on the car. Parking brake still works totally fine. So I was a little torn on whether I should or shouldn't try to put it into maintenance mode, but I do have the scanner now, and I've only read one like eerie forum where some guy said he was able to put it into maintenance mode with an X-Tool scanner, and then he couldn't take it out. But X-Tool got back to him pretty quick, and they gave him the update he needed to do that. So I'm gonna attempt to just put it into maintenance mode here, and then we'll continue from there. There's what she's got on the clock, 95K. Okay, so there's maintenance mode. So use this mode when you check, replace, repair brake pads. Lift up the vehicle and make sure the engine is stopped when starting the process. Finally got that Gen 2 stubby in the mail. Let's knock the dust off this baby. Definitely pretty worn down there, so at least the dealership didn't lie to us. Now we're gonna put this baby in maintenance mode, hopefully, and then commence with the job. All right, so we're gonna go ahead, press OK on this. Make sure electric parking brake is not applied and no brake work is in process. All right, I'm hearing good noises. So now I kind of want to see if we can get it out of brake maintenance mode. Now it says start the engine and confirm parking brake works. Excellent. Sweet. Okay, we'll shut that back off. Okay, so now I'm basically just going to repeat the process. If I didn't explain it before, the main reason I did that is just because I found online somebody said they couldn't get it out of brake maintenance mode, and I thought it would be best to check if we could do both. Worst case scenario, if it didn't, we could contact X-Tool while we're doing the work and then hope that they get back to us by the end of the job. Luckily, we don't have to worry about any of that. Bigger box here, so probably fronts. Those look right to me. On the side here, if these bolts ever start sticking on you a little bit, you can just get in here and kind of push with a screwdriver and get the thing the rest of the way out. This one, it was loosened from the threads, but it was just kind of stuck in there. So there's that. I think also we do have to take this clip out. So we'll take stock of how that routing is. Be super careful with these, folks. These things will go flying. So I'm going to attempt to fit the swivel in here. Yeah, just a little too snug. Okay, there's that one.
These are expensive as hell, but they're so freaking worth it for purposes exactly like this. There's the rotor. Sometimes these will get stuck on there. We did this, 60,000 miles ago, so it's only been a couple years, but just tap it with a hammer. If you're reusing the rotor, be careful with it. That will usually get them off if you get a good hammer tap. We also did put some anti-seize on this, so that definitely helped today. Just for the record, I'm sure there's a better way to do this. You guys can let me know in the comments. This is just kind of what's always worked for me. I'm just basically cleaning up the contact surfaces where the pads will go. And then I'll put a little bit of copper anti-seize on the back of these just to prevent any squeals. Okay, so another thing they told him he might need to replace is the brake fluid. To be honest with you, I kind of don't want to bleed brakes right now, so we're going to give it just a basic test to see how bad it is right now. If we can put it off till it gets warm out in a couple months from now, we will do so. Okay, so it's telling us that the water content's less than 1%, so this is not bad to the point where we need to change it right now. Returning to normal mode, electric parking brake will activate automatically if all brake completed. Are they installed correctly? Hopefully. I killed the battery. So, may have killed the battery, but that's okay, because we needed an excuse to try out the new jump box. Okay, a little bit of a scare there with the scan tool. I basically think what happened is, for some reason, this car was like stuck in accessory mode when we put it into brake maintenance mode, and we were killing the battery while we worked on the brakes. And then the battery was totally dead by the time we went to take it out of maintenance mode once we finished the rear brakes. Car was doing crazy stuff. It would crank without pressing the brake pedal, so it thought the brake was initiated for some reason. It got a little hectic, so I didn't really record much of it, but we charged up the battery for like 20 minutes, reconnected everything, got it back out of maintenance mode, so now the parking brake totally functions now. We got no dash lights. We're all good. I really am having a dilemma about this, because a lot of people will talk about how you really just don't need to mess around with the rear parking brake. I don't know, it kind of goes both ways, because what if you're that one unlucky person that messes up your parking brake, you don't put it into maintenance mode? It begs the question of like, okay, how much money is that gonna be versus this was kind of just like a 45-minute headache, which is still annoying, but we got it fixed. We know that the maintenance mode stuff was right. Anyways, I'm just blabbering, but that's the update. We're gonna bust out the fronts now. The rears should be all good. See if the old stubby can do these big old caliper bracket bolts. I kind of think it's not going to be able to, but let's see. Oh, wow. Wow, okay. I loved being proven wrong there. That was actually kind of awesome. Look the same to me. Sweet. To
Place these clips too, just because we have them.
And so I like to do these one at a time because sometimes these can get a little confusing depending on the orientation and stuff. Good practice to kind of just clean this up so that these sit evenly.
And you want to just make sure these clamp down evenly and it's lined up good on both sides. And those, we'll do the slide pins real quick too. Just take these out. Make sure you don't rip off the boot. It's okay if you do, but you have to put them back on if you do. So hold the boot, just yank out the slide pins, and you can get a little rag. These are still nice and lubed up from the last time, but again, while we're in here, why not? So grab a little bit of the silicone paste, give it a nice even layer. You don't want to go too hog wild here.
Nice even layer. Try to keep it inside the boot as much as possible. It's going to want to go off the ridge a little bit. Okay, so we're going to try to just kind of get those compressed equally each side.
Taking her on the maiden voyage. Felt like we had a little bit of a spongy brake pedal, so might have to return and bleed the brakes, but we're also just going to check to make sure they work. Well, just like that, it's now dark outside. The job has concluded. This car's starting itself randomly. Auto start stop stuff's weird, but the brakes work. Pedal got better as we drove more, so I think maybe it was just being in the garage there and slow speeds was making the pedal seem really spongy. In any case, I wouldn't even have bled those for him. I don't really like the guy that much, so but yeah, it's a job well done. Glad that the thing worked out with the scanner. I thought that was going to be a big freaking pain in the rear end for us, but it got it in and out of maintenance mode once we pulled the jazz hands routine a little bit on it. Any conclusive thoughts?
So wrapped up nicely. Had us a little nervous midway through, but I think we got to where we want to be. So with that being said, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and click that notification bell to not miss an upcoming episode.
There it is. There it is. I couldn't have said it better myself. I gotta hang around this guy more. Thanks for watching. There goes another happy customer. Have the feeling he might not text back until something breaks again. At least we can bond over that, right? That's still a healthy relationship. Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, garage is still kind of in shambles here, so I might try to be a diligent human being for once. Pack some of that stuff away. If so, enjoy the montage.
comment, and click that notification bell to not miss an upcoming episode.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I gotta hang around this guy more.